The first 4 years and the time I spent there, I thought he was a strong leader on security issues. He supported our operations at the CIA. He even strengthened them. I think he was tough on terrorism. He made the very tough decision on bin Laden. But these last 2 years, I think he kind of lost his way.
Leon Panetta was interviewed by USA Today. That was what you were hearing there. And he used to, of course, be the director of the CIA. He used to be a defense secretary, so he's intimate with the Obama administration. He's saying he lost his way. Charles Ortel joins us now, Washington Time columnist. Got a new website, too, I want to talk about in a second, Charles, charlesortel.com. But, Charles, what did you make of Panetta throwing the Prez under the bus?
Thanks, Pat, for having me on. I think that this is enormously significant. I mean, down here in America, we had, until this administration, we had a precedent, which was that when America is at war, we did not, members of a sitting president's cabinet did not go out to the public and start criticizing the president. And, you know, for Panetta, you know, who I think actually was wrong in the first part of his analysis, for Panetta to go and say that he now has to write and then sell this book and publicize it, must tell even partisans, Democrat partisans, that there's a serious problem with this administration. And I think the center of the problem is that, unlike past administrations, there's a kitchen cabinet of advisors here who controls this president, who may even make decisions for the president. After all, he's constantly off fundraising and golfing and partying and here and there. You know, the world's a very dangerous place, and I don't think you can manage it in your spare time.
Charles, that's not new. I mean, it's happened in other presidents. Think of Bobby Kennedy and his relationship to his brother. But that said, who's in that kitchen cabinet?
Well, I think a person who deserves enormous scrutiny and has not yet gotten it is Valerie Jarrett. I mean, here's a woman who, you know, people used to joke about it, that she was the real president and, you know, doing all the tough work while he was off doing what he does, glad-handing. And, you know, people need to take a hard look at her background. I mean, she was born to American parents in Iran. She is rumored to be a person who was in charge of backdoor negotiations with Iran that may have been based out of Qatar, which is a country that deserves enormous scrutiny. You know, how did Valerie Jarrett acquire the influence that she has in the White House? How did she build her career? How did she make her money? Who are her friends? Who is scrutinizing her friends? Who is second-guessing her decisions? I don't think there is such an apparatus in our government at present, which explains how the president could be prosecuting foreign and domestic policies that do not seem to be at this point in America's best interests.
Well, it's interesting. You point out Panetta's words, though, and he said, for the first 4 years in the time I spent there, I thought he was a strong leader on security issues. You say that that's not necessarily the case, but I think what's also illuminating is the end of the quote that we have, which is that the president should try to clarify what the role of this country is all about. Don't you think that Panetta would have got that across to him while he was there?
See, I don't think so. I mean, I'm hearing reports, and they're in the public domain, that, you know, various cabinet secretaries don't even meet with the president. And I don't buy this argument that somebody is so smart that they can just read their iPad and never interact with the people who write these very important briefs that must, I hope, be, you know, in depth. The reason I disagree with Panetta, I mean, I'd start with Iran. The situation that the United States inherited, the bad situation that we have in Iran, is all due to what Jimmy Carter did in 1979. And we still now have, however many years later that is, I guess it's what, 35 years later, the United States, North America, and the world suffers from a situation in Iran that we had an opportunity to change in June of 2009 when Obama was fresh on the scene right after he made his Cairo speech. Instead of backing the people who rose up in the streets and were ready to overthrow and seek a government we could support, we stood by and we let these thugs maintain control of Iran, who have ever since then funded more and more terror operations around the world. So for Panetta to say he did a good job, right there's an F in Iran. And in every country that's unstable because of Iran. So I disagree with Panetta on the period 2009 to 2012. But for him to finally say that after 2012, after this president won re-election on false pretenses, that by killing Osama bin Laden, the world would be safer, and also, by the way, that the economy was roaring back, which it plainly is not roaring back, You know, clearly Panetta must have found a new religion. Clearly he must now be, I mean that political religion. He must now care deeply about the prospects for Democrats in the 2014 and 16 election. I think President Obama is going rogue on his own party.
Well, and I'm thinking that others are going rogue on him too. I mean, it's not only Panetta that's talking this way. Hillary Clinton's in Canada. She's lecturing, saying we're in for a long haul here and we've made some tragic mistakes. She's throwing the president under the bus.
Well, you know, and the fact is, I think the American public, you know, there's an element in the American public that is completely wacko. Unfortunately, some of these people vote on the right and on the left. But people are now getting engaged down here, finally, after 6 years, and saying, you know, let's look at our own lives. They are a microcosm that suggests what's really going on across the country. The economy is in free fall right now. We have piled on massive debt. We were at peace, you know, working together with people, let's say Russia, even with China. Now around the world, America is in mess after mess that this president has created. I don't buy the argument that Panetta has advanced it's going to take 30 years to solve this problem. I think we could solve the problem by being far more forceful than we are with our supposed allies. I mentioned Qatar as one of them. You know, you can't be an ally of America under the people I know and like, forget about Obama, if, you know, you're on the one hand saying you're helping America and on the other hand enabling terrorist acts, as Qatar is around the world. So, I mean, we could make an example of Qatar, which is a small country, 500,000 approximate residents, and we twist that tap off in their support, both in money and through Al Jazeera, for radical jihadist Islamism around the world. That's one important quick step, and we have a military base inside Qatar already.
Yeah.
So, you know, that would be something that I can't believe we haven't done earlier.
Well, and you make a good point of it actually on your website, funny enough, charleshotel.com. Does Georgetown School of Foreign Service really need to take blood money from Qatar? So, Charles, I'll send people to go and visit your website and take a look at that.
Thank you.